Guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to say a very big thank you to all my subscribers. Thanks for the follow, thanks for the like, thanks for the comment, and thanks for the share. And if you are seeing me for the first time, please do well to subscribe, likes, comments, so you can get to see more of again. And if you're interested on how to cut this beautiful, classy, unique gown, please watch to the end. What I have on my table are the materials I use for this beautiful gown. I've went ahead to cut out the basic body on my pattern paper. I have draw out the neckline, which I use 3.5 for the neckline, the shoulder, which I use 8 inches, like 16 divided by 2, which give me 8. Then for the armhole, I use 1 inches for shoulder slope, and I also use 7 inches for the armhole. Then I'm confirming the 8 inches I use for the shoulder to make it complete. Then I'm taking my shoulder to nipple to under bust and for the waist measurement. So now for my neck depth, I use 3.5, then I connect it to my shoulder slope. After that, then I went back to the armhole of my dress. I divide my armhole by 2 because I'm using 7 inches for the armhole. So I divide it by 2, which give me 3.5. Then I come in there by 0.5. Then I will connect the 3 lines together. So on my chest line, I use 8 inches for my chest line. On my chest line, I take my bust measurement, which is 40 divided by 4, and I have 10. So I will connect the 10 back to the middle of the armhole and the upper part of my shoulder. I believe you understand what I mean there. So after that, then I will take the same measurement I have on my armhole. I will take it on my chest line. Then I will take my under bust measurement, which is 34 divided by 4 to give me 8.5. So the next thing now is to my waist. My waist is 36 divided by 4, which is 9 inches. Then I will connect all the lines together. When I'm done with that, I will take my sewing allowance, which I'll use 1 inches all through for both sewing and ease allowance. Then I'll connect the lines together like so, and cut out the neck and the excess of the pattern paper. The next thing now is to take my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2, which give me 4. So I take it starting from the bust line to other bust and to the waist measurement. From the other bust, I go in by half inches from both sides, and also on the waistline I went in by half and I come out by half. Then I connect all the lines together. Then I will also connect it back to the bust line, just like what I'm doing now. I've connected there, then I also bring it up to the bust line. So the next thing now, I will make sure the 1 inches I take in between the line, I will bring it by the side of the both for both waist and the other bust, so that I will not have shortage of materials there when I'm drafting it on my May pattern. And I will connect all the lines together just the way I connected it earlier. I will connect from the bust to the under bust and back to the waist. So the next thing I will do is to cut out the excess I have by the side of the pattern paper. My main reason of using pattern paper is to back half length for my front half length. My back half length is 16.5. Then for the front I use 18 inches. So the difference between those two is 1.5. So on my bust line, I will come down by 1.5, mark and connect it back to the nipple point, just like what I'm doing. Then for the edge, we make sure that the edge is aligned with the bust point and tape it down. After that, then we come back to the nipple points, I mean the dart place. So I'll open it as well. Then I make sure that I lift up the paper and get it close, just like the way I'm doing it. So on the table here, I have my main fabric and the pattern paper. The main fabric I'm working with is 2 trouser lengths of a bit crepe fabric, not too thick, but it's a little bit thick and it's not stretchy. So I'm working with 2 trousers of crepe fabric on the table, and I've placed the pattern paper I cut out earlier on it. So then I've traced out the neck, the shoulder, and the body. I'm not This cloth is not going to have half cut. It's a straight gown. It will be straight from the shoulder to the ankle, no half cut. Okay, so the next thing now, after I've placed the pattern paper on it, I've taken my nipple measurement, which is 46 divided by 4, which I have 11.5 with my sewing allowance. I have included it. Then from that hip a bit down, I will reduce it by 1 inches, because the dress is a straight gown. Okay, it's a straight gown, so I have to reduce it by 1 inches. Then the next thing is cut out the neck, the shoulder slope, and the armhole down to the full length of the dress. So on the table now, I have the fabric for the back pattern. So what I have here is the leftover from my fabric that I used earlier. So the back has a net on it, so the total length of that net is 12 inches, and the total gown I'm working with is 16 inches. So I will minus 60 from 12, which I will have 48. So there, the place that I mark out is where the 48 start from. Now I will take my zip allowance, because the gown we have zip at the back. So there, after I've taken my zip allowance, and it's also have a slit at the back will be open. Okay, so after that, I'm checking. I will check for the 12 inches that I want to use for the net to make it accurate with my sewing allowance of 1 inch. Then I will now trace it out. I place my front pattern on it, so that I will use this to trace out the shape that I cut out earlier, right? So I'm trying to make the mark visible, the mark for the 12 inches, to make it very visible, while I cut out the excess of the back, and I cut it down to the full length of the dress, like so. So after I've cut it out to the full length of the dress, so the next now is for me to take the front from the back and make the back opening. I will open the back. So then determine where the slit we stopped. I used 19 inches for my slit opening, which I think is okay. It's optional. You can use any number that you want to. So here is the net that I'm using for the back pattern. On that net is leftover net that I have in my shop. It's just a little net. You can see that is everything on the table. So I've went ahead to mark out the zip allowance of 1 inch. Then after I've marked out the zip allowance, the next thing is to the armhole. Then I'm trying to explain that the front armhole is deep, right? So the back will not be as deep as the front. The place that you go in by 0.5 for the front will not be the same as the back. Okay, so please take notes, and don't forget to add a little bit allowance for the piping of the armhole. Okay, so for the neck, I use 4.5 for the neck. Okay, I use 4.5 for the neck, for the deepness of the neck. Okay, this clothes is like a sleeveless clothes. I'm not going to add sleeve to it. Okay, bias to pipe it. So for the front too, I will cut out facing for to pipe both the neck and the armhole. Turn on your notification, so when I upload the sewing tutorial, you can be able to see it. See you guys in my next